Dr. Parmjeet Parmar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a pleasure to take part in this debate. Mr. Speaker, we are seeing results of some very good planning and investment strategy of this national government. I was at the ceremonial opening of the Waterview Tunnel by Prime Minister Bill English and Ministers Bridges and Joyce. Mr. Speaker, the excitement there was huge. We know that thousands of people want to go through that tunnel, walk through that tunnel, cycle through that tunnel before that tunnel opens for drivers. And I know it was several months ago, but it just feels like it was just a couple of months ago, Mr. Speaker. I was with Ministers Bridges and Goldsmith when the tunnel boring machine, Alice, had just finished boring those tunnels. And the anticipation for its opening was enormous. Mr. Speaker, this great infrastructure project delivered under the watch of this national government has been delivered as it was promised. Mr. Speaker, this project has several highlights. Of course, it will change the way people in Auckland move, but as we heard in the question time from Minister Bridges, it employed 11,000 people. It gave the opportunity to employees to upskill at work, because we know this has been our most complex roading project. And the tunnel boring machine, Alex, required some seriously high level of engineering techniques. And this project also gave the opportunity to young people to take part in that competition that was run to decide the name for the boring machine. And I want to acknowledge Brendan Hall as his name, Alice, was accepted for the boring machine, Mr. Speaker. And when I was talking to people in Mount Roskill, because this tunnel is going to make a huge difference to traffic flow in Mount Roskill, I saw people were really eager to drive through this tunnel. And I know that when this tunnel opens next month, there will be a lot of people wanting to drive through just to experience that, Mr. Speaker. And yes, Mr. Speaker, it's going to open next month for drivers. This is the biggest milestone in Auckland's transport network in more than half a century. It's $1.4 billion project, and we know that the economic benefit of it is estimated to be around $430 million, with increased productivity and reduced travel time. Mr. Speaker, we are able to deliver such great projects only because our economy is doing so well. We are investing hugely in our economy. We are diversifying our economy. Mr. Speaker, someone who has been outside of New Zealand, has seen the world, knows that the world is becoming an increasingly interconnected place. And the internationally friendly image of New Zealand under this national government is attracting tourists, supporting our economy, is attracting international students, supporting our economy, Mr. Speaker. We need that kind of investment from overseas in all sectors, Mr. Speaker. And actually, our international education industry is a star performer. It's worth $4.5 billion, creating more than 30,000 jobs. And that is what, Mr. Speaker, the Labour Party wants to kill with their immigration policy proposal. They want to kill that support to our economy of $4.5 billion. They want to kill those 30,000 plus jobs, making 30,000 plus people unemployed. Mr. Speaker, I ask, where will we get more money to invest in education? Where will we get more money to invest in health? Where will we get more money to invest in infrastructure projects like I have just spoken about, Mr. Speaker? And it's the same Andrew Little, Mr. Speaker, who was posing for media with those international students for his political reasons, students that were being deported because they had submitted fraudulent documents saying that the government should allow those students to stay in New Zealand. And now, Mr. Speaker, it's the same Andrew Little attacking that international education industry, attacking international Indian and Chinese students, Mr. Speaker. Our position was clear then, and our position is clear now too. Mr. Speaker, we highly value our international education industry. We highly value our international students. We want them to have really good experience here in New Zealand while they are here studying. But, Mr. Speaker, if there is any fraudulent activity, there will be consequences. And these international students, Mr. Speaker, are not only providing economic benefits, but they are also helping us create links with our trading partners. They are also giving us experience of different cultures. And cultures are to be enjoyed, Mr. Speaker. So under this national government, Mr. Speaker, we want to see that the economy keeps growing, we keep doing well, and we remain well connected to the world. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Carmel Sepuloni.
Mr. Speaker, we have